Melissa. I'm a senior at Lincoln Way East, and this is for the sociology project that Callie Goodrich and Carly Bucci are doing. My religious views are relatively new, but not completely. They've more been finalized now. I've always thought about religion. My dad studied theology at Princeton and was going to train to be a pastor. And then my mother, she doesn't really like the church that our family really goes to, but she's pretty religious. But I've just never really found, I don't know what the word would be for it, like a concrete hold to it that I've always wanted to go to. I think ever since I was about 5, I've always had questions about it, and then confirmation, I had even more questions, but it was nothing that anyone could really answer. So I would say I've been thinking about this like my entire life, and it's nothing that I take lightly, but they've kind of been finalized up until now, because I feel like I'm mature enough to handle it. Is there a certain influence? Actually, yes, when I was 5 years old, or not 5, the girl was 5 years old. I was around 11 or 12, and I was helping in the church nursery, and there was a little girl asking to be read a fairy tale, and then she said she wanted to become a princess when she grew up, or something like that. And then the teacher said, "Oh, but honey, that's just a fairy tale, like none of that's real." And then she went in to read like the story of Jonah being swallowed by a fish, and I was like, really? Like, that kind of sounds fake too. So it was hard to see a little girl's dreams get crushed because someone said that they were unfeasible or just fake.
Yeah.
And so ever since then, I've been thinking about what's true. I hear about a ton of religions, and I don't see how all of them could be true at once. So I've always wondered, like, well, what should I actually be listening to? And so little stuff like that have certainly taken a giant influence. My views have kind of changed, but they kind of lead into you asked the people from question about being I'm so sorry.
Okay.
The views being different. A lot of people have influenced that. Anytime I've ever believed differently, it was due to someone else. This is the first time I've kind of been on my own for my beliefs. I would always kind of do it to because I thought it was the social norm and it was what people wanted to hear. And people who are atheists, for lack of a better word, I don't even like using that word because it comes off as very cynical now. Mm-hmm. And so my friend, she's very, very religious, and she used to kind of make it seem like she wouldn't want to be my friend if I wasn't. So I thought a lot of people were like that. So I would pretend to be very religious and very into the God and Jesus, which there's nothing wrong with it, but I just never really found a place, but I thought that's what people wanted, so I went along with it. And then I did confirmation, like I've said, and I was always asking questions, but I figured since my dad really wanted me to, and he was a big part of the church, that I should just go along with it and try and find as much faith as I could with it. But even then, I would have separate talks with a youth minister and be like, is this really for me? And stuff like that. So to answer 2 at a time, my views have been different, but they've never been my own views. It's more of other people's. And nobody's really led me to believe what I believe now. It's been more thinking on my own. It's not the music, which a lot of people would say, or any books I've read or anything. It's just been me sitting in my room and actually thinking about it. I've read many books, and a movie that I just watched the other day, Religulous, with Bill Maher. And if you know him, he's very anti-religious, but I'm not anti-religious, it's just not for me. Okay. But it's certainly inputted into some of my views. My views have never really affected relationships with any of my friends. One of my good friends, Victoria, she's very religious, but we're still like best friends. It's never affected anyone, mostly because I don't shove it down people's throats. If people ask, I'll tell them, and if there's like a debate, we'll be civil, but it's never come into play. I think that's the whole part that has almost turned me away from stuff like that, because when people get into religious debates, like, that's one of the things I found so negative. Like, why can't people just get along? So I've tried my absolute best to not make it affect anything and just keep to myself, and if this is where I'm happy, then that's where I'm happy.
We got 2 minutes left.
Okay. How long are you to listen? I think I'm very willing to listen to other people's. I think religion is very interesting and something that should be learned about people. It's part of people's culture. It's part of people's lives. Are my beliefs permanent? I'm pretty sure they're permanent. There's nothing really stopping me right now. Like, I'm not gonna doubt anything, and there's no way to disprove or prove religion. It's a matter of faith, and faith is believing something without any proof. So I can't say like, well, give me proof, because that's not the idea of faith. So if I feel that I need faith in God, then maybe I'll turn to it. But I've always seen God as a comfort thing, and I'm very comfortable with my life right now, and I'm fine. So until I feel like I need that and I need a hole to fill, then probably not. I don't have anything in place of religion really. There's nothing that I worship or look up to. I just again, like, as a comfort level, I just keep with my friends. I'll listen to music when I'm sad. So if that's religion as a comfort thing, then yeah, my friends. And then I believe in evolution for creation, and that's my views on religion.
Okay, thank you.
That was awesome.